Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition. Just a couple housekeeping items before I introduce a special guest today that'll answer your home training needs. We're going to look at changing our name to Sport Fit Hub from Cycling Hub. The evolution of this quick evolution of this idea has started to expand into bringing Edmontonians information on not just cycling, but fitness and at this particular time, other means of keeping ourselves mentally and physically healthy. So when you're looking for us now, look for Sport Fit Hub and look for lots of cool guests coming up in the next little while. So going forward now, we have a coworker of mine from Propel Performance Institute, Dominic Oppong, and at the gym, he spends his days personal training, working with youth sport, as well as adult youth performance. He's, in my mind, one of the best, most enthusiastic group fitness trainers. And for the same reason, the youth teams love him as well. The kids love his energy and everything he brings to the workouts to them. So I know he's putting on a workout on Friday, which is why I wanted to introduce him to Edmonton. And we're going to give him an opportunity today to tell everyone a little bit more about himself, so that everybody is looking forward to Friday and seeing what he's got for a home workout. So without further ado, we'll introduce Dominic Oppong from Propel Performance Institute, coming to you from his house. Dominic, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it.
So, I mean, I know a little bit about you, but probably still lots to get to know. Why don't you just start telling everybody, I guess, first question that usually always comes up, sort of how life started, how you came up, and I know you ended up in a good soccer career, so maybe how that evolved.
Well, I was born in a country called Ghana in West Africa. I moved to Toronto, Canada in 1995 with my oldest brother. My mom had moved over here for a better life in the future in 1988, and she sponsored my brother and I to come over, and it was probably one of the best decisions I think my mom could have ever made for our lives. um, Lived growing up in Toronto, it was I don't want to say it was hard, but it was different from where I was coming from. I didn't live in the best neighborhood, but it was better than what I was experiencing back home in Ghana. So I've always been grateful. I guess through my experiences, Kevin can tell you, I'm easygoing. I never really stress out about too much, and that's pretty much it about my upbringing.
Well, I know soccer is your thing. Growing up, was it always your thing, or um, did you have opportunities for other kinds of sports? I know where you were brought up is a little bit unique from a lot of the rest of us. So, did that provide different opportunities, or maybe less opportunities because of the situation?
Yeah, actually, soccer was pretty much like you hear the cliche a lot of like NBA players or NFL players say like they had to get out of the situation they're in, right? So it was the same thing for me. It was soccer or nothing. And I used to play basketball actually. I was better at basketball at one point. And when I turned 13, I had a chance to play on the provincial team for basketball or for soccer. And my mom made me choose and said I couldn't do both. So I picked soccer because it had a better chance of making it.
A little short for basketball, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I made the right decision.
At what point with your soccer did you start to realize that maybe it could be a career?
To be honest, I always kind of had that feeling, and I knew that's just what I wanted to do. I didn't have a plan B at all. I just soccer was what I wanted to do, and nothing was going to stop me from it.
Oh, it's easy when it works out that way.
Yeah, exactly. So I did everything in my life. I trained all the time. I lived and breathed soccer. Like everything that had to do with me was all about soccer.
Now I know you got a wonderful family there. Is that did the family sort of start after your soccer career, or did you Were they with you through any parts of your soccer career? Did they get to experience any of that travel and life in Europe and other parts of the North America, following you around for in your soccer career?
Yeah, the beautiful part is soccer actually led me to meeting Jen, my wife, because I came to Edmonton in 2004 for with the Canadian Youth National Team, and one of the local guys who was on the team, he had a day off, so he had a little get together at his parents' place, and she was a friend that came, so we met through that, and then the following year I got a full scholarship to go to school in the States. So Jen moved out to Toronto to be closer to me for the travel and coming to visit. So she's experienced majority of my career. My son was born in 2010, so that was my rookie year in Harrisburg, USA. So he experienced my whole career, but my daughter not really, because I kind of wanted to put her on a hold when we found out that she was coming.
What as a pro athlete, for many, I think it can be a struggle finding life after a pro career of any kind. As you were maybe coming to the second half of your pro career, did you start thinking about other careers? Did you know what you wanted to do? Did you accidentally fall into strength and conditioning? Were you sort of following a mentor of of someone that you know, or sort of how did that evolve?
Exactly. I actually, when we were in Finland, that was when I started thinking about becoming a strength and conditioning coach. Um, I just my junior year in university, my strength and conditioning coach is actually my mentor. He's the one that got me really in love with the strength aspect of fitness, and because of him, I wanted to kind of pass that forward to other athletes who are going to be coming up.
How did you find the adjustment? I mean, you obviously, I would concur with your description of yourself being easygoing and not stressing about too much. So I imagine the adjustment seemed like it went okay, but how did you find going from life traveling and soccer to sort of a more, I guess, staying put, going punching the clock in, punching the clock out sort of idea? That adjustment, that change of life, how did that go for you, and how did that feel?
Honestly, at first it was hard. It was hard because I went from playing to a month later. Now I'm training the general public, right? And the hard part was not judging in the sense of how they approach their training. So for the first, I want to say 4 months of doing this, I had to bite my tongue a lot because I was coming from, like when you're training, what I was doing, there's a purpose to it, right? And there's a certain intensity to it. And it's different from the general public because they're doing it just for general health, right?
Right.
When I was doing it, I was doing it with trying to pretty much, when I get on the field, be able to kill somebody.
Yeah. There can be a different intent, I suppose.
Exactly, totally different intent. So that part was hard to adjust to, but once I got adjusted to it, it became what it is now, which is easy and fun to kind of motivate people and get them out of their comfort zone and see them start to see that they can go further than what they think they can.
Yeah, I think even if people don't want to kill things the same way that you did when they're in the gym, I think they still enjoy getting that from you, or seeing that from you, and then they're sort of, they're trying to put out their best version of that. It might not be to the same level, but I definitely see they see that purpose in you, which I think fires them up a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Because uh, yeah, I'm passionate about what I do. So if we have an hour together, I'm gonna try to make that one of the best hours that we both can experience.
I often sort of last question around the family stuff. I often see your son kicking the ball around. Do you see the same sort of passion or desire towards soccer in him, or is it too early to tell still with that? I know he's pretty young.
That's funny because he's in the same kind of transition that I was. He plays basketball and soccer,
Right.
so he's the same as me. He's better at basketball. but I think he's going to be better off in terms of height than
All
I
right.
was. Yeah, because his mother comes from a family where majority of the males are over 6'6".
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he got some pretty decent genes on his side when it comes to the height. So I
Yeah.
think he's a basketball player.
Let's hope he takes after the uncles and aunts.
Exactly, right?
And your daughter often comes dressed looking like she's ready to dance.
Yeah, she's a dancer. She loves dancing.
Does she? I don't know at her age. Does she take part in programs yet for that?
Yeah, so she's in the dance class. She's also in swimming, and she trains with me and my. She trains with her brother. Her brother's training with me every day.
Oh, wow. So,
Yeah, I can say she's actually more. She's more competitive than the whole family.
oh, really?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. There's
If she
always
does,
one like that. It's funny.
yeah,
Nature or nurture, they say, or they
yeah.
ask.
If she doesn't win, everybody's gonna hear about it, or the
Yeah.
game's getting canceled.
So with the training and such, um, we got the people looking forward to the workout on Friday and going forward. When people, if someone was walking into the gym and you could deliver anything you wanted, they were healthy and they were game for any kind of workout. What's sort of your jam, your routine? What do you like? Um,
I'm
there's so many different methods and styles out there. How do you like to inflict that killer instinct, as you say?
well, I'm similar to you in terms of my background is more of an endurance athlete. So a lot of my approaches to training is, well, I break it down. So clearly we go through a warm up just to get the heart rate up and the body nice and warm. And then I like to introduce an activation stage. So let's just say if we're gonna do squats or anything with the upper body, we'll get the shoulders and the glutes warmed up. Whether it'll be through like bands or series of different hip movements or cars. Um, and I like high intensity intervals. So usually we go three strength exercises, finishing off with a cardio exercise at the end to build up that power and the muscle endurance and the legs.
So is that what viewers could expect tomorrow? I know tomorrow there aren't as many toys to play with like we get to play with at Propel. So it really challenges the creativity. But what would viewers expect for tomorrow? And can someone be comfortable with getting onto it? Maybe not as experienced or advanced, but in this situation needs to start finding other means for their fitness, but they're not sure if they're ready for a Dominic Oppong Propel Institute workout yet. There be options for different levels so that people can just find their level and still get a really good workout in?
Exactly. So I'm gonna taper it in a way of all you need is just yourself, no equipment, just your body. So all body, full body movement. So like a burpee, a simple squat, a lunge. I'm gonna have some push-ups in there, some planks, lots of leg raises, and like my goal for Friday is to get people to pretty much boost up their energy level from what it's been for the past couple of weeks of being stagnant with this quarantine thing going on.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I know this is definitely taking its toll on many, and yeah, I think the workout certainly, as much as it seems physical, I think a lot of people coming out of their various home sessions just feeling much better mentally about things just simply after a 20, 30, 40, 60 minute workout at home. I think it's really
exactly.
important,
And
and I think it's hard. We can kind of get sucked into well, whether it be the couch or our stay-at-home workstation now. It's really easy sort of just to let the day fly by. And I think the hardest thing for many, and I have troubles myself, is still keeping a slot carved out that we're going to dedicate to ourselves. I know many, whether it be homeschooling their kids or um, they're still they're still fortunate to have a job, except they're doing it at home. So they're sort of plugging away, and before you know it, 5, 6, 7 hours disappear, and there's too many other things going on to get your workout in. So I think it's a big piece of advice is just to find that slot in the day, guard it with everything you got, and maintain some sort of routine that will enhance that mind and body through this time period that we don't know how long it's going to take. So fitness and mental health can be a big snowball, and I think if we don't look after ourselves that way, it can start rolling big. And we all know when we've had slides in this that it's hard to come back from if we let it go for too long.
There you go. That's as true as it gets right there. I would recommend sometime in the morning so that as soon as you wake up, you kind of get it done, and it helps kind of kickstart the rest of your day. Like
For the workout tomorrow, what kind of time frame are you looking at?
we're looking at it's going to be at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And how long are they going for?
It's going to be 30 minutes. So
30 minutes.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes will be kind of doing a little warm up just to get the body going, and then the last 20 will be really, really intense.
Uh-oh, look out. I've seen some of that before.
It's to your own standard.
Wow. So lastly then, just don't want to make this too long. Do you have any other, I guess, let's call it ask your trainer for stay-at-home tips for workouts? What kind of things or guidance can you provide people in terms of maybe, building a short routine, establishing space in their house? We've obviously talked about the importance of blocking a time slot in the day. That's sort of probably the biggest start to all this. If you don't have that, nothing's going to happen. But if there's not a workout going on online that they can follow, what are some things they can do to have a good feel good workout?
Yeah, so I always like to use myself as the example for the majority of my clients. So what I've been doing since this whole thing started is I've been sleeping in a little bit because
Yeah, well, that's been nice. The trainer hours can be pretty early, and I gotta admit, I'm enjoying that extra hour or so.
yeah, because I was up at the gym at 4:30 majority every day, so I can't lie, I'm enjoying being able to sleep in until 7. So usually when I wake up, my son and I will go into the basement and we'll get a good warming up. So running back and forth in whichever room that we're working on in that day. And then we do 25 reps of air squats, 25 squat jumps, and then we go into lunges, planks, and now we're adding some muscle stabilizer exercise. So like a wall sit, for example, right? Just to work on those muscle stabilizers and endurance in the leg. So it's just, and then we usually do 4 rounds, so 100 reps. And we do that Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I do some mobility stuff just to keep my body kind of functional.
Wow, I think you just scared half our viewers from tomorrow.
Oh, nah. And the beauty of that though is like the workouts, anytime you do some kind of movement, it produces chemicals in your body that's beneficial for your brain and just your energy level for the day, right? So and especially in a time like this, to be honest, where you need your immune system to be at its best.
Yeah, there's a lot of things even down to the hormonal level that are happening, and I don't think we necessarily realize the stress we might be carrying right now, and probably ever increasing. Maybe the first few days were kind of nice, holiday-like, and spend some time with the family. But needless to say, as it goes on longer, burdens increase, financial burdens. There's still some bills being collected, so a lot of people are trying to balance a lot of things right now. And like I mentioned before, I know depending on the age group of your kids, I've talked to a lot of people already, and not everyone was meant to be a teacher. So the homeschooling has been difficult for some, and even just learning technology. I know I've been able to enjoy a little bit of that because I don't have pressure of teaching someone trying to learn this YouTube stuff and such. But a lot of parents are trying to figure out how to log in and pull up homework assignments and stuff. So that on top of everything else can make for a long, draining day. So again, stressing the importance of finding that 30 to 60 minute time slot and looking after yourself a little bit. I think you and your kids will appreciate it for sure.
Exactly. There you go. And then, like, to be honest, whenever my son or my daughter are kind of in the mood a little bit, we just go downstairs, we do a little running around, and their energy changes again. They
And
become,
burn them out. Yes.
yeah, exactly, burn them out a little bit.
Well, thanks very much, Dom.
Yeah.
So Friday morning at 10 o'clock. At the end
Yep.
of this, I'll post the, I guess they call it the Instagram handle.
Yep.
I'll post that. It is behind me too on a whiteboard, possibly kind of small. I realized when I turned on the screen that writing it on the whiteboard, it was backwards once the camera was on it. So I'll fix that up, but it'll also be posted at the end of this. And we look forward to seeing Dom putting everyone through the paces tomorrow on Friday and days to come.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Kevin. That was fun.
All right. Thanks, Dom. Good luck tomorrow.
Take care.
All right. Bye.